If you're clicked and in tune, there's probably something here for you. I keep getting the Eight of Wands, and there is something urgent, something fast moving. Just because something is happening right now, and either you need to do it or you're receiving information about it, whatever's going on, no matter how critical it is, the more need there is for introspection. And if you are literally in the moment that you're able to watch a YouTube video, let's give the introspection needed. So we're going to draw your pattern, your power, and your play. We're going to start with your pattern. We have the Seven of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the Ten of Cups, and one to grow on. So I can see why you're feeling pretty urgent. You're someone who's been working hard, probably a really long time. You're at this point of the Seven of Pentacles where you just kind of feel exhausted, but understand that this is in the context of the Pentacles, which means you're right before you're about to hit your stride. Your Eight of Pentacles, where you're really in the prime, your ability to take inspiration and make it something real in the world around you. So it takes time in our lives to learn how to accumulate the right skill sets. Even though you feel exhausted, you might not see this, but it's right before you're about to hit the big things that are going to happen to you. I think the Ace of Wands here is it's the creative force that precedes clear action. What's important is that you follow those instinctual ideas. They're not throwaway. A lot of us have a million ideas and we're like, which one of these do I follow? There's something there. Because you have so many ideas, it's really difficult at times to determine which ones are worth following. But they're clearly here. There is at least one path. Or at least one idea that you are having, have had, or about to have that leads to everything. It leads to everything you could dream of. It leads to the Ten of Cups, the full well-being in every way. All right, we had this one to grow on. I'm going to go ahead and turn it as the beginning of our power. But what is really important before I turn it over is that this power has been here all along. You never needed me to tell you about it. You never needed me to show it to you. Probably something you know. So this power that we've been waiting to turn over, it's the Empress. Of course it is. The Empress knows that she would never trade places with anybody else. No matter what her lot in life is, she understands at least it's her life. And she doesn't accept any other angle on it. So let's see what your other powers are. We also have the Five of Swords and the Six of Swords. These are interesting powers. Again, let's talk about the Empress, and that's someone who would not trade places with anybody else, that no matter what her empire looks like, she's happy that it's her empire. I know this power sounds kind of obvious, but the Five of Swords is the power of choosing your battles. People always believe they choose battles, but until you really see the wounds that you're responding to and with present awareness, predict likely outcomes of your specific actions and reactions, you don't really understand the phrase choose your own battles. You're able to understand where the birthplace of battles are. Really handy power in this day and age. This power in the Six of Swords is directly related to the Five of Swords. Now that you see the birthplace of conflicts, you're able to maintain awareness of yourself through the noise that challenges you from all of these different birthplaces. Always know that you understand the birthplace of conflict and you can manage your own contributions to it. You become very aware of everyone else's. Your power here is to maintain that focused presence through all of that and to continue going in the direction that you want to go. That's a really good power to have, particularly when you're talking about a big idea. And what is your play? We have the High Priestess, the Temperance, and the Knight of Pentacles. I don't know why I'm being asked to read these backwards, but let's go for it. The Knight of Pentacles is really asking us to keep our eye on the big picture. The ability to understand our contributions and everyone else's contributions to the specific suffering of ourselves and the general suffering of everyone around us, right? This leads to the Temperance card. This is what really allows you to dip your toes back into the outside world and make yourself vulnerable again. Because you no longer fear nakedness, you no longer feel being exposed, you no longer fear the exposure because you see that everyone is always exposed. This allows you, right, the freedom of going back into the general world and being vulnerable enough to really show this inspiration that you're tapping into. The High Priestess is really asking me to give you very specific credit for the work that you've done internally to get to the point that you're at right now. This is a really specific message. You've been through a lot and you've really taken those experiences and used that as the wisdom that you need as much as you possibly can. It's wonderful, the introspection that you're doing. You're being asked to continue doing that. Which brings us back to the Eight of Wands, which again is saying that as things feel really urgent, these good ideas, these big things, stay aware. Stay in touch with your inner knowing. It's okay to be vulnerable. That doesn't mean you need to be in a hurry. There is a measure of discernment in your pacing as you move forward. All right, I hope that this was helpful to you. If it was, do all those YouTube things, and peace out.